Give me a little countdown. 3, 2, 1. Yo, thank you everyone for coming back. Dojo Outfitters YouTube channel. First of all, I want to start by saying thank you to everyone who has reached out. It's really meant a lot to me. Just to hear friends and family excited to get a podcast started. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It really means so much. And with that being said, we go from one legend to another. Judo black belt, Jiu-jitsu black belt, Olympic alternate, the CEO of Dojo Outfitters, Corgi lover.
Facts.
Like it all. Andy Hung, what's up, man?
Man, we're blessed. We're blessed.
Man,
that's what we are.
Welcome.
What's up?
Hey, man. Super happy to have you on here. You're kind of the guy who made this happen.
Well, I'm gonna stop you right there because just fresh off the gate, it's not only me, it's the team. It's the team has to win. It's always mutual benefit. Being a judo guy, you're also a judo guy. Judo's about mutual benefit. So right off the bat, this was partially my idea, but Chicken Bone came through and said, I want to do a podcast, and you got to put the right peg in the right hole. And I just want to give you, if you're going to give me love, I'm going to give you love back. I'm blessed to be on this podcast with you.
Man, thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot hearing that from you.
Of course.
And bro, episode 1 was crazy for me.
Gordon Ryan, the GOAT.
Honestly, I was nervous.
Man, you should be.
I was nervous. I was, but it was like a nervous, excited though.
Yeah.
Because it was just kind of cool to be able to talk to someone who's at the top of their game. He's, in my opinion, the greatest no-gi grappler in the world right now.
Who could beat him?
And to sit down and have him talk to me for 55 minutes was it was unbelievable.
I picked him up from PDX Airport. I had a chance to have a little one-on-one with him myself, and it was dope, man. He's everything that you hear about Gordon Ryan is true. He's very articulate, which, 100% no disrespect, but I was surprised by dude is smart, man. The seminar that we went to at PDXBJJ, he dropped major knowledge. You could tell he's a product of a developed system, and just the verbiage he used. Gordon Ryan is the truth. So just shout out to Gordon Ryan. Thanks for being guest number 1. I have the big shoes to being guest number 2. Thank you. How do you go from Gordon Ryan to that? You know what I mean? But yeah, bless. Gordon Ryan, shout out.
Yeah. So, he did a seminar at our gym, PDXBJJ at Portland Judo. What were your initial thoughts of what he was teaching?
Man, I was actually hoping that he would show so what he showed was the back take system and back take, some attacks and positional things from the back. And that's what I was really looking for, because obviously when you think of the Down Here Death Squad, you think about what? Leg locks, heel hooks, right? Leg game. But if you watch the ADCC like I did, and I'm sure you did yourself, what did they demonstrate? Specifically Gordon, back taking, rear naked choke, hand pummeling. And that's exactly what he showed at the seminar. So for me, with my judo background and everything, the back game was easily applicable versus I'm not the most well-versed in the leg game. I'm a student of it myself, but the back game was instant material that I could use. That power Nelson is what I'm going to take away from that. So yeah, it was dope.
I thought one of the cool things about the seminar for me was he was actually telling the uke how to escape the moves too. And I ended up seeing some cool details of something he wasn't even teaching.
Yeah.
He wasn't even teaching. I was oh man, that's actually a pretty cool detail from there.
Yeah. We talk about being visual learners, right? Ian's a student of mine. This is one of just shout out. But we talk about being visual learners, and even as a sensei and professor, with the right mindset, you could be a student anywhere. So being a visual learner and seeing just what the uke was doing, man, you're learning 2 times. You're learning what the defense is, and you're learning and listening what Gordon was saying. So, man, it was bananas.
Yeah, that's speaking of being a student. we were in class last night, and you brought up kind of interesting like idea to think about. You were talking about attaching something more to your jiu-jitsu journey, and it kind of had me thinking like a lot. And like, what made you bring that up?
It might just be like 2020. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about a new year. Is January 3rd today. So, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. But like, I just feel like I attached something to my jiu-jitsu journey. It was the passing of my father. And I just wanted, that's why if you look at all the photos and all my belts, it has my dad's name on it, Alan Hung. And when you attach something that big to your jiu-jitsu journey, you could overcome anything. Like, that's what I was trying to resonate with people and understand. Like, in the beginning, you might just be going because it's a community, it's cool, it's fitness, you're burning calories, you're learning something. Like, in the beginning, hey, that's 100% fine. But what happens when you tear your MCL and you're going to be out for 3 months? And it's like, oh, it was cool, but like, what brings you back?
Yeah.
Community could be one of them. That's perfectly fine. But if it's like attaching the journey to like, I just want to be good at something in my life, that's huge. I just want to be a student of a game. I want to be the best Andy Hung or the best practitioner I could be. That's bigger than just showing up and I'll just go to class today, whatever.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with just going just for fun, though. That's what I want to make sure that the point is being taken. That's fine, because that will carry people very far. But imagine if you attach it to be like, man, I want my kid to see their parent and their father as a black belt. That's going to get you through the hard times when you get waxed every practice, when you're tired, when you don't want to go to the class that day. Like, that's going to get you something, that extra motivation. And I challenge my students to find that for themselves, because I can't give it to you.
Right.
And we talked about it before. Like, I can't want it more than you want it. Your sensei or professor cannot want your success more than you want it for yourself. Black and white.
Why do you think blue belts quit so much then?
Man, that blue belt curse. Let's talk about it. Like, blue belts, all you blue belt listeners out there, do me a favor. Commit yourself to something. At least, okay, you got your blue belt. Get the purple belt. Get the purple belt. Because the percentage of purple belts that leave is significantly lower than blue belts. Blue belts, this is what happens. This is what I think will blue belts happen. Usually they get their ass kicked a lot at white belt.
Yeah.
Usually they spent maybe a year to 2 years, depending on how often you're training, who your professor is, getting the blue belt. So you feel like, oh, I accomplished something. What's next? Man, blue belt is just the start. Black belt is just the start. Like, you never stop learning. And I feel like some people, it could be the society that everybody wants something instantly, instant download.
Yeah.
I got to get good now. I got to get good tomorrow. Man, that's taking too long. What's next? That's not how judo, that's not how jiu-jitsu is. You got to be bought in years. Lifestyle. So when they realize they got the blue belt, the professor straps them up. Everyone's giving them, hey, man, you earned it. What's up? Awesome. Then to reset and realize that it doesn't really, like, you just go to class with the blue belt the next day. Yeah. What happens?
Same.
What happened to you?
It was the same.
If not worse, because dudes want to beat you up more.
Yeah.
Purple belts want to humble you. Vintage blue belt, like veteran blue belts, want to humble you. Oh, welcome to blue belt. This is what it really feels like.
Right.
White belts want to get a chance at you because now you're at where they're at.
Yo, low key, when I got promoted to blue belt, like, I kind of missed the white belt. Like, white belt was like it was such a crazy journey for me that like, I don't know, man. Like, not that I didn't want to not be a white belt anymore, but like, man, like, I had some good times at white belt. Like, I really I kind of bought in because it was my second time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I bought in, and white belt was just so fun for me. So like, it was like a little bit like I miss my my white belt, but then I didn't want to be a white belt anymore either. Because you'd be like, yeah, man, I do jiu-jitsu. They'd be like, oh, dog, tight. What belt are you? Oh,
I'm just a two-striper.
I'm a two-stripe white belt now.
Nothing against two-stripe white belts, man. Stay on the course. But the thing about white belt is this, and you've heard this before because you're a student at PDXBJJ. We're humbled to have you here. But look, if you're a white belt, the expectations are at 0. If you just show up every day, people are like, "Oh my God, you showed up. Let me give you a stripe. Hey, good work." The expectations as your belt gets darker only goes higher. There's only more once you're a blue belt, of course you're here every day. You better be. You're a blue belt. Yeah, I mean, you won a couple tournaments, but you should be because you're a blue belt. Oh, you're a purple belt. You should be able to handle some blue belts in here. I haven't seen you in 3 weeks. Where you've been at? Okay, now you're attending. Now you're here, purple belt, brown belt. You should be able to how are you as a person? How are you as a human being? How is your technique? How are you? Where are you? Are you helping people below you? Black belt, the responsibility only gets higher, so you better be ready for it.
So, were you a white belt in jiu-jitsu at one time? Or
I was.
You were.
Your boy was.
They didn't just put you right to blue belt.
No, see, no one is above the belt system. No, and I had to come with that as a judo guy. I was fresh off the 08 Olympics Beijing. So I made the Olympic trials.
Right.
I lost. Didn't make the Olympic team. And I was burnt out. And then I started jiu-jitsu. And my training partner Atsushi Yoshinaga, 90 kilos, a great friend of mine. God bless him. He got me into jiu-jitsu and said, "Hey, there's a CrossFit gym I've been working out at. They have jiu-jitsu. We should all go." So I said, "Yeah, let's go." So we went. And what was the question? My mind is back in time, bro.
I was asking you about being a white belt. So we're
belt.
No, hey,
okay.
we're on a perfect, you're setting us up, dog. You had me you had me I was ready for the next answer.
You know how it is. Okay,
yeah.
So I've been fresh off the Olympic trials. I've been judo black belt for how long? We go to start doing jiu-jitsu, and we're wearing our judo black belts because I don't know any better. For all you judo senseis out there, and judo black belts out there, from now on, if you go to a jiu-jitsu school, just wear a white belt. Be humble. Sit down. Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
Wear a white belt. It's a different art. It's a different belt ranking. Don't assume that you own a black belt. Don't assume anything. Be humble. I wasn't that person. I wore my judo black belt, judo gi. I didn't know anything else. I didn't even have a white belt. So we went. Anyway, long story short, we weren't jiu-jitsu white belts. We being me and my brother and my homeboy Jacob Bell, One World Jiu-Jitsu. Shout out to Professor Jake, my homie. Okay, my brother Louis Hung. Shout out to my older brother.
Also,
too.
shout out Mustache Lou.
At Mustache Lou. He doesn't have the mustache anymore.
I saw.
But going back to it, yeah. So we would train. I had my black belt on. Obviously, I don't want to come across as braggadocious or not humble, but you're not a white belt. So we would roll in. We would train. We would do what we had to do, and then Dave Camarillo and Mike Prudencio at One World was like, "Hey, these judo guys are consistent. They're showing up. They're not white belts. Let's promote them to blue belts." So Mike Prudencio at One World and Dave Camarillo were there at the seminar, gave us our blue belts. And if you kind of look around the culture and even being a product of this culture, normally a judo sensei black belt, I would assume that they're a blue belt in jiu-jitsu in some aspect.
Right.
It's kind of like you assume that they've gone through some type of course. They have newaza, they have judo. I'm not saying you instantly give it to them, though. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that their skills, their etiquette, their understanding, their foundation. Yeah, this guy's a judo sensei. He's not a white belt. What do you give him?
Right.
I would say a jiu-jitsu blue belt is quality.
Yeah. So after you got your blue belt, then what was your journey from blue to purple?
I got my blue belt. I trained. I did a lot more. I was doing CrossFit for a long time. I know CrossFit gets knocked a lot, but it was a great community. I did CrossFit for 2 years, powerlifting for 2 years. I was 240 pounds, dog. I was a problem. I was a deadlift problem, bro. 240, 5'10" on a good day, 240, bro. I was like Mike Allstott.
Okay, so hold on. We're gonna get back to this.
Yeah,
I gotta know how much your boy over here was benching and squatting and deadlifting. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, combine, NFL combine. What are they rep? What are they rep? 225. How much you think your boy did?
I mean, I'm saying you could put up an easy 15.
Up, bro.
Oh, a nice 25.
Deuce, 22. Your boy,
22 piece.
225. I was repping 225 22 times, and it's documented. Louis Hung, my brother, the strength conditioning guru of Andy Hung, my older brother. He said, "Hey, I wonder how big you could get," and that was the challenge. And we were like flipping tires, deadlifting, squatting, bench pressing. You should have seen the meals we would eat, dog. Like the calories you need to get to 240.
Yeah,
you would look good at 240.
Dog, there's no way.
Hashtag at chicken bone to 240. You be chicken thigh, bro.
I mean, I'd definitely be more than that.
Chicken breast,
bro. One time I got to 180, and my body said, "Dog, we ain't going 1 pound farther. Matter of fact, you're going back down to 160 right now." All right. So now that I know that you can bench press that many, so when did you get your purple belt then?
Okay, so I moved to after CrossFit. Got my blue belt after CrossFit. We moved to Oregon. Me and my brother, we drove up the I-5. Never been to Portland, Oregon ever. Sight unseen. Moved to Oregon. Opened up Portland Judo, the Judo Dojo. And I started saying, "Hey man, like I've always liked Jiu-Jitsu. I've always liked Newaza in Judo, like Newaza ground techniques. I've always liked Newaza." So what we've been doing was like, I wanted to expand that repertoire. So I said, "Hey, Jiu-Jitsu has this ground game. I want to focus on it." I started training at 5 Rings. Tom Oberhue, Professor Tom Oberhue. And that's my lineage. I'm always proud of my lineage. Tom Oberhue at 5 Rings. I started training there. I met the community. That was my first jiu-jitsu gym that I met when I came to Oregon. And I trained under him, and I eventually earned my purple belt from Tom Oberhue. And man, that was a very formulative time in my career. I was new to a town. I was new to a gym. I was meeting the people. I was meeting the players in the community. And that kind of like started my entry into the Portland Jiu-Jitsu community.
Yeah. That was actually when I first met you. You were actually a purple belt when I like first met you.
Where were we working at?
See, it's a funny story. We were working at Cheesecake Factory, and I remember like walking by, and I like look over, and I noticed your ears, and I like looked at you, and I was like, "Bro, what's up?" Like, are you in the UFC or something?
True story. That's what we were at the POS, the point of sale system, and I'm bringing in an order. I just had a table. I'm bringing an order. This is my first memory of chicken bone, right? Get off the top. He comes up to me. I'm bringing an order in, and he's like, "Bro, do you know who Nate Diaz is?" And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, do you do UFC? I was like, "No, I do jiu-jitsu, man. What's up?" And he's like, "Oh my gosh, that's like who? Like, what's your name? My name's Ian. Whatever." And then like, yo, we're sitting here.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
Crazy, man.
So purple to brown. Tell me about it.
Okay, so purple for brown, man. I don't know how you purple belts feel out there, but I was hungry and I was angry, and like I had a huge chip on my shoulder because like, as a judo practitioner, an established judo practitioner, I was still using judo to get success in jiu-jitsu. So I was using my judo name on my judo base. I wasn't really accepting jiu-jitsu as its own thing yet. So I was struggling with that. And if you're a judo guy, you might understand what I'm talking about. It's 2 different martial arts, right? It's 2 different martial arts, but I wasn't mentally capable of accepting that yet. I was still just doing judo, and it was working. So I was, when I lost, I was a bad loser. And I'm seeing this now as a almost 35-year-old man. I was younger. Man, I made a lot of mistakes at purple belt, but I won a lot at purple belt too. It was a double-edged sword. Like that motivation, I was angry. I was hungry. I was fighting in tournaments. I did super fights. I drove miles to fight in tournaments. Like I was super hungry at purple belt because I wanted to prove a point.
Yeah.
And I was angry.
Yeah.
What was angry about me, what was in me was I was a judo sensei, and I had a judo dojo, and I had all this prestige in my head. My ego was big, and I thought that I deserved more. And it sounds like I could say it now because I matured, but at that time it was wrong. Like that's my ego. That's ego talking. Like I thought I was better. I should be a brown belt. Like it didn't feel good. But at the time, like it motivated me so much to win and train every day and like I was so angry at purple belt, man. Like everybody had to get it. And but you know, at the same time though, think about this. That promoted me to train every day. That promoted me to drive to Salem and train with James Popolo and Ben Baxter. It promoted me. It encouraged me to be, how good can I really get then? If you're going to say you're that good, well, why don't you put in the work to get that good? Like I started the PDXBJJ program as a purple belt. So it was a very formulative belt for me. Purple belt was. And it's early in jiu-jitsu standards, but I started judo when I was 13. So I already had 15, I don't know. How old was I? 10, 12 years, 15 years of judo experience already.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel about my purple belt career, man. But to brown belt, okay, so I got my brown belt under Cowterra. We were the first Cowterra affiliate. And I got he tied the belt around my waist. And I was at brown belt, I was a lot more peaceful. Like I was at peace with myself. I said, okay, if I'm really going to do this, I got to get good. I got to get rid of some negative attributes. And that ego was one of them. You're not owed anything. Like you're not owed anything in this, in judo and jiu-jitsu. If you do jiu-jitsu and you think that that's going to carry you into judo, get rid of that. If you do judo and you think that's going to carry you into jiu-jitsu, get rid of that. It's two different sports and you have to respect that. No one's above a martial art that's been established hundreds of years before I was ever born.
Yeah. I think it's funny though, because I'm guilty of that too, because I'm definitely better at jiu-jitsu than I am at judo. Then when you go to judo class and you start doing newaza, it's like, well, if I use my jiu-jitsu, I can win. And you know, but what I should be doing is practicing my judo, but that's hard because, you know, you always tend to gravitate to what you're better at and use the skills that you're better at.
Correct. Okay, so what you just talked about, pressing, I'm going to call it like the win button. I'm getting in a bad spot. I'm going to default to my jiu-jitsu skills. I know I can get out. I'm going to press the win button. That win button is easy to press every time because you know you could default to it. The discipline comes into play when you're going to say, I'm not going to press that win button because I know I could get out. I'm going to weather this storm and maybe I'll lose. And that's just what growing looks like. You follow me?
Yeah.
If I could just go to a dojo and I'll just do jiu-jitsu and I'll just win and press that. And I'm not saying this egotistic. I don't always win. I'm saying this in this for the conversation. The discipline it takes to not press that button and take the loss.
Yeah.
That's the discipline I'm talking about. Because not everyone has it. Not everyone wants to develop that discipline.
Right.
And I'm saying it, I don't even have the discipline to always say, I'm not going to press that. I'm just going to default to what I'm good at. It's hard. That's why I don't like no-gi. That's a tangent. How far you want to go? That's why I don't like no-gi.
How many coffees have you had?
I had a pot of, I drink a lot of coffee.
It depending on, let me put some context on this. Depending on how many coffees Sensei's had, man, sometimes when he's teaching, he'll go into a whole different realm of something that what were we talking about? I thought we were doing a back take, but now I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
You know what hits my dome hard? Nitro cold brew.
Okay.
And when you nitro that stuff, if you go to your local coffee shop, we're blessed in Portland to have a big coffee scene. But if you have a coffee spot, get a nitro cold brew and see how your brain works for jiu-jitsu is mind-blowing.
All right, let's get back on track here.
Okay.
So we're I want to talk about brown to black now.
Brown to black, peaceful, comforting, like at peace with who I was and how can I be the best Andy Hung. Not even jiu-jitsu practitioner. I didn't say best jiu-jitsu practitioner. I said best person I could be.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind, I've already had years of judo in my belt already, but like being the best person, that actually helped my technique. Like you ever want to be a technician at that brown belt level because you uphold that rank. And Caltera gave it to me. I was brown belted up. I was a lot more at peace with who I was. I fought in a lot of tournaments already. I had a resume of like I won this, I did that, I lost in that, I won this. I was confident in who I was. Now let's talk about the technique. Let's unpack that. How good can you get technically? Not talking about tournament wins. I'm talking about how good can you literally, like how many routes can you learn? Like that was a big step for me. But the biggest thing that was for brown belt for me was mentally like at peace. And that helped my game. I wasn't angry anymore. There was a big page turnover in my life. Like as a man, as a human being, it just came at a perfect time. And I really challenged myself. So like all you brown belts out there, you probably understand what I'm talking about. But like as jiu-jitsu-ka, it's a sport, but it's a martial art. At the end of the day, what is a martial artist? You got to be a good human being. And you know it better than anyone else as being at PDXBJ as one of our students. Man, we challenge people to be good people first. And a lot of people will say they do that, but we really do it at our dojo. If you're not a good person and you have bad attributes, and you're going to have to work on that first before you ever get anything. Because I'm not going to put like our dojo and our rank on a person that doesn't have the quality and character that doesn't deserve it. And that's unapologetic. If it takes you 10 years, it takes you 10 years to figure it out.
So let's talk about a nice segue here. So let's talk about when you got your black belt, the day you got your black belt.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
I was actually there.
You were there. Your boy was there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry. Jacob Bell and Mike Prudencio tied it around my waist. You know, you think about being a black belt for like your whole career of starting jiu-jitsu, and some of you may be there. Some of you may be just a blue belt, purple belt, which is fine. You're on the path. Some of you might be that four stripe brown belt. Like you're ready. You're on the cusp. It was a beautiful moment, man. It was an accumulation. Like I said earlier, I dedicated my jiu-jitsu path to my late father who passed away when I was 18. That's why he's on my belt every day. So every step I take is in his honor, man. So like for me to get the black belt, like look, I'm getting emotional right now, dog. Like you're gonna make me tear up, but like that's why I put my name on his belt, man. When I got my black belt, my dad got a black belt. I imagine him saying, "Hey, he's at work. He passed away at work when he was working at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii." I imagine him going to work and saying, "Hey, my son got his black belt." Like, how strong is that, bro? You'll go through anything.
Yeah.
You'll work through anything. Like, if you have that memory, that's why we go about talking about attaching to something bigger than yourself. Imagine that. Your dad or mom says, "Oh, my son's a black belt." Like, that gives them proud. So when I got it, the whole family got it. That's why Jacob Bell and Mike Prudencio, when they tied it around my waist, man, the team won. The family won. A lot of responsibility, though. Like we said again, the darker your belt gets, the more responsibility you get.
So we got it. So we were in One World Jiu-Jitsu,
Yes,
which is in Newark, California.
correct.
And we were down there. It was a huge promotion. Excuse me. I was a 3-stripe white belt at the time, and so we had this big promotion. And like, dude, for some reason, like, I don't even know how, like, I didn't know, but I like look over to somebody that we trained with, and I was like, dude, is Andy about to get his black belt?
See, I don't know this.
I was like, how, like, I'm like so naive, and they were like, I'm pretty sure, and I was like, oh, that probably makes sense. So they gave you the black belt, and we ended up doing a bunch of rounds afterwards, and we were all staying at the same hotel. So when we went back to the hotel, me and Corey, because we were the white belts, we ended up getting everybody's gis. We took everyone's gis down to the washer and we washed everyone's gis. Hey, white belt duty, right?
Bless you.
So once we were done like washing all the gis and like getting ready to give them back to everyone, the black belt that you got was actually in the wash. We washed the black belt, right? And so it was just me by myself in the laundry room with your black belt.
I don't know that. I didn't know this.
No, I've never told this story. And I looked down at the black belt. And it meant a lot to me too. We've been friends for a long time. What's going on right now?
Oh shit!
It's like Misty.
I got him. We got him.
It's like
we got him too.
It's like Misty in the room over here or something. But like I looked down at the black belt and like that's when I knew right then, as a 3-stripe white belt, I was like, I was gonna get my black belt.
Oh man!
One day I was gonna like have the same kind of like feeling that you had. And it's a story I've never told before, but
appreciate it.
I was the first person who ever washed your black belt.
Bless you.
But yeah, man, like that it probably meant a lot to a lot of people for you to get your black belt.
Man, that's why the first thing I said was the team won. The program won, my family won. Like that's what it's about. And like if you're fortunate enough to get your jiu-jitsu black belt, the second thing I said was responsibility. People are going to look up to you whether you want it or not. Whether you want it or not, if you wear that black belt, you better be ready for the responsibility of people looking up to you. Purple belts will look up to you. Brown belts will say, hey, what can I do for XYZ? And you better have the answers. So like, there's no faking it. There's no faking it, man. There's no faking it. You can't, there's no pill you could take to fast forward the button. You just got to do work.
Dude, one of my favorite sayings of yours is like, if someone came and gave you your black belt, like, would you even want it?
I said it yesterday.
Yeah.
Would you want it? So if you're a blue belt or a purple belt or even a brown belt or a white belt and you're just kind of going through this dirt and your head's down and you're digging and you're digging and you're digging, if your professor came up to you and said, hey, you know what? You did good. Here's your black belt. Would you even want that black belt though?
Nah.
The answer should be no. No. I'm getting passionate, bro. You know how I get passionate, bro. The answer should be no, because if it was free, you wouldn't want it.
Nah, it doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't feel the same.
I think the reason that, like, for a lot of people, the reason judo and jiu-jitsu is rewarding is because it's hard. And not just like hard, it's really hard. You know, and especially to go back week after week after week after week. And
after injury.
Mental
injury.
You know, like what about not subbing someone for a month? You know?
Just getting waxed every day.
Like getting waxed every day. But
I was a rest round. I say that story a lot. When I went to San Jose State, this is a tangent. When I went to San Jose State, I was 18. Okay? I was 18. I won, and I'm trying to be humble. I'm not trying to be braggadocious. I won a lot of championships in Hawaii, and Hawaii has strong judo. Ask somebody. Ask about Hawaii judo. It's strong, and I won a lot of championships and belts and whatever it is there. I thought I was hot shit. I was young. I went to San Jose State. Freshman, 18. 2003, I graduated high school. 2004, Athens Olympics. I went into an Olympic cycle. Like, dudes were hungry. And I got waxed every day. I cried every day. I tell the kids this at my judo dojo. I teach the kids class. I'll tell the kids this story every day. I see them crying in Poland judo. I got no sympathy. They're kids. They're going to cry. Cry when you're an 18, 19-year-old man. That hurts, bro. I was humbled. Wake up call. I thought I was hot shit. I got humbled. So I was a restaurant. Dudes will be fighting for the Olympic spot. They would say, hey, Andy, oh, man, I'm so tired. Let me go with you. And they would throw the shit out of me, bro. They would put me in the wall. They would punch me in my face. They would try and mentally break you. And I was broken daily. As a freshman. You got to wake up to go running. You got to wake up to lift weights. This is college. College man crying. Bro, I questioned everything. What did I do? Why did I even come here? Am I good? I thought I was good. What happened? I thought my judo worked. It was trash.
All right, so hold on. Let's back up. Let's back up because we made it through the jiu-jitsu journey, and
Yep.
and I'm a both guy. Don't get me wrong, I'm a both guy, but I wanted to start with the jiu-jitsu.
Please.
But we got. Let's take this way back, okay?
Way back.
Let's take this way back. So when did your judo journey start?
13. Louis Hung, my older brother.
Mm-hmm.
Roy Kawaji. I never forget. I was in the study of my house, and my older brother comes in. This is in Hawaii, Pearl City. He comes in. I think he was a junior. It must have been junior. He comes in. He says, "You got to join judo." I say, "What? Like judo? Like what is that?" And he's like, "Yeah, throwing, pinning is cool. You should do it." And I'm like, "Man, I guess I'll do it." Because we did kung fu together, and I'm like, yeah, I look up to Louis Hung so much. At this time, I was like a carbon copy. If he had his covers on him in bed, I'd be like, Louis, you have your covers on? I'm gonna put my covers on too. I was copycat, bro. So he said, you gotta do judo. I said, okay, I'm gonna do judo, but I'm never gonna compete. I don't want to do tournaments. I just want to do practice. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm the one that did the most competitions over Louis Hung. Like Louis Hung competed, and if you ask him this when you have him on the podcast, he'll tell you I competed a lot more than him. But I said, you know what? I don't want to compete. I just want to practice. I don't want to put that pressure on me. But it's funny how I became the one that Olympic alternate, trials winner. But so he said, you got to do it. I said, okay, I do it. And you know how like when parents talk to their kid and like, I used to go to school and I walked uphill both ways and it was snowing. Exactly. That literally, it was in Hawaii, so it didn't snow. But I was in intermediate school. Highlands Intermediate, if you're in Hawaii, you know. Highlands to Pearl City is all uphill. Google it. There's no route. It's all uphill. I used to walk from 8th grade uphill, go to judo class in high school, get my ass kicked every day, even as an 8th grader, and come back for more the next day.
So how did the belt rankings work back then? Were you like white belt to start
I was a
with?
white belt, man. Of course. I was 13. I was a white belt. I didn't know my gi from my butt, bro. I was just fresh.
Did you go from white to green or
white to green.
Uh-huh.
White to green. Show up, put the mats down. You heard this story. We had to put the mats down every day.
Oh.
Foam panels. 80, 100. We had to put down foam panels. So I went to Pearl City High School, Leeward Judo Club. Shout out to Leeward Judo Club. They're still going. We were just there last year. Leeward Judo. Cafeteria. So picture, if you're in Hawaii, cockroaches, spilt milk, spoiled milk, bro, on a tarp. So we have to show up an hour before class, put the mats down, spread the tarp out, and move the tables. Sensei shows up, and we're ready for practice. I was a green belt. Even from that age, I was helping people younger than me. That's what judo is. Mutual benefit. If you're 13, you're helping a 4-year-old. Whether you know judo or not. I knew enough judo, but you know more judo than a 4-year-old, so you're helping out. Instantly. Boom. So you keep going. 3 years later, 16, black belt. That's the good thing about judo is that they give sensei privileges to people to grow into. You're not a black belt yet at 16. I was 16. You're not a black belt yet. You're a black belt, but you're going to grow into that role. So 16 was I did judo. I did club judo and high school judo at 16. 16 was a big year. What are you, a freshman? 16?
Sophomore?
Sophomore. Yeah. Man, sophomore year, contacts. I had contacts, no glasses. I had my braces off at 16. It was game time. So, yeah, Hawaii judo strong. Just kept going. So
Sensei Roy Kawaji.
Yo.
That was your first judo coach ever?
He was a high school judo coach in Pearl City.
Now this is younger, older.
My age right now, 33.
Younger. I've heard ambitious. Some stories about younger
Roy Kawaji. So Roy Kawaji is my head sensei. He's the head sensei at Portland Judo. And one of my favorite stories is, so there was like 120 kids, high school kids in the judo dojo, in a not even judo dojo. It was like a wrestling room, like small, like the size of like Dojo Outfitters now. We'd all pile in and said, everyone's shoes, your shoes have to be perfectly straight. When you step on the mat, bow on, your shoes, your slippers have to be straight. So we're like, okay, make your slippers straight, bow on the mat. We would bow in. He would go through every pair of slippers and throw them down the stairs, bro. Like, gone, crooked, gone. This one's not matched up right, gone. And just throw your slippers in the trash can, like whatever. Like, even if you came early and made your slippers straight, some bozo would come in. Oh, I'm late. Let me put my shoes on and kick your shoes. Your shoes would be thrown away too. Like, brutal judo style, bro. So, like, that weaned the numbers down.
One time you told me a story, and you'll tell it better than me, but what would happen when there was too many people to practice?
Oh, too many people to practice? Someone's going to quit. Not everyone could be here. Not everyone deserves to be. This is high school kids, bro. This is freshman to senior. Like, Coach Roy would be like, not everyone could be here. We're going to make it hard. So if you want to quit, here's the door. You could leave. We only need, how many weight classes were there? 10 or 12 weight classes? We only need 24 people here. You could all leave. And he would just make practice like hella hard. Like, I'm a product of like hard practices all my life. I'm a product of all the senseis who ever put so much pressure on me. And I've never quit. Never quit. Like, that's the trait of a judoka. You never quit, man. No matter how hard it is, you just keep showing up every day. It's hard to beat someone that shows up every day. The only time you quit is when you don't show up. You can get your ass kicked every day. You show up. You get your ass kicked on Monday. You don't win a round on Monday. You show up Tuesday. You won.
You beat all the people who didn't come.
You beat everyone that's on the couch that says judo's not for me. You're out. I'm still in.
So with now that we've gotten through your judo and jiu-jitsu journey, how, like, we're on the Dojo Outfitters podcast. How did this Dojo Outfitters even get started in the first place?
Dojo Outfitters is an accumulation of my whole entire life and other people around me who's ever put pressure on me. The real answer is, I'm from Hawaii. And in Hawaii, it's a very unique retail situation. So there's swap meets, like people haggle in swap meet, like garage sales. It's basically like Aloha Stadium will have like garage sales around the whole stadium. That's a swap meet. And Hawaii is unique in that there's swap meet. So what I'm trying to get to is that I learned retail very early in my life, being exposed to the Hawaii, just the way the Hawaii is. So my dad would take me to the swap meets at Aloha Stadium young, and I was a big like Hot Wheels. I loved Hot Wheels as a kid. So I would say, "Oh, Dad, hey, I want to buy this Hot Wheel. It's like $10. Do you think I could borrow $10?" And he would be like, "Hey, here's $5. Go get it." And I'd be like, "Oh, but it's 10 though. You gave me 5." He's like, "Yeah, figure it out." And like, look at me now. Like, you just got to figure out, like, gift the gab, like, honey tongue. Like, you got to talk to people. So what I realized at a young age was, like, you got to be able to use your words. One thing I noticed was, like, you have to show the cash. So I'll be like, "Oh, I'll give you this for $5. Versus if they say no, they're not getting anything. All I have is $5. I'm a kid. They'd be like, "You know what? You're good. Take the 5. Take the car." And, like, at that, like, how simple is that, though? Like, economics. Like, you got to be able to get it at lower price. And I guarantee you people from Hawaii will understand what I'm talking about, where they're like this kama-aina, like you're from the land, like kama-aina discount. If you're from Hawaii, like, you know what kama-aina discount is. I still ask for kama-aina discount. I'll give kama-aina discount. If you come to Dojo Outfitters, ask anybody.
What about a haole? Can a haole ask for it?
The haole has to come correct, man.
Okay. I was asking for all my haole people out there. I said, I don't even know if I can say that word, but let me just make sure that deal is not for us as well.
That's so funny because you've been around enough Hawaii people. You know how it is. We have a lot of people, Hawaii people from our dojo. Kama-aina means from the land. So you're from the land. Haole is a white person not from the land. So luckily, Ian knows. He's been around Hawaii people. Hey, he's a haole, but you know what? But he's been checked over time how to be a respectable haole person.
Yeah, you got to know how to act around the Hawaiians.
Man, you got to. Professor Shane. What if you came around Professor Shane? Shout out to Shane. Maybe you're listening to this. Hopefully you are. You're a homie. What if Ian came to you and said, "Hey, can I get this for $5?" Bro, no.
He charged extra for me.
He charged. Hey, it's $15.
It's 15
but
for you,
it says
dog.
10. No, it's 15 for you. Right? But anyway, yeah, Dojo Outfitters. Coming from Hawaii, we're around surf and skate shops all the time. Brick and mortar. I went to surf shops all my life, and I said, man, like looking around the landscape, there's no Judo and Jiu-jitsu stores out there. Right? When was the last time you went to a specific Judo and Jiu-jitsu store?
I think this is the only one that I've ever been to.
And I don't want to humble brag, but like, if it was in the industry, I would know about it because I'm in the industry. Where is it at? It's in Japan. There's some in Japan that I know of that I go to. Of course, I know the homies there too, but like, it's not there. And like, that's where I went to school for business. Now I got a business degree from San Jose State. And being in Hawaii and getting my business degree, I've always been business minded. I just didn't really know it until I hit that chord. And when I opened up this brick and mortar store, everybody wants to buy things online. Amazon Prime. Next day you could have your gi. And I still opened the brick and mortar store because I believe in people connection. That's never gonna go out, man. People connection is never gonna go out because of technology. I believe it. That's how I live my life. I connect with people from other gyms and other places, other walks of life every day. And I believe in that 100%.
Well, yeah, it's fun to come in here and buy like a gi or a t-shirt and then, get to talk to a double black belt, judo and jiu-jitsu person. You're more like a pastor or you know what I mean? Like a therapist, you know what I mean? Like,
it's true, though.
You probably hear so many different stories.
This is a tangent, but like if you're a professor and you wear a black belt or you're a sensei in judo, people, whether you want it or not, are going to view you as a person that has their life together. And they're going to ask you questions like, hey, there's a girl I like at work. What should I do? And I'm like, me? You're going to ask me? Or like, hey, some people will get, man, I'm getting a divorce. I don't know what I should do. Like, what would you? I'm like, why are you? I've never been through a divorce.
I'd probably just do some like more drilling or.
Okay, go to the gym. Okay, we need you in there. If you're going through a hard time, I just have to have you in the gym. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. You know what I mean? But in reality, I'm blessed because like I'm in a position that people view me as a voice of advice. There's a lot of responsibility. I understand that. And I got to make sure that I'm operating as a person capable of giving advice to people when they need it. And I wasn't ready for that because I was just a kid. I was young, at 27, 26, 25. Like, what are you doing at 25? Your ego is probably pretty high. You're probably maybe making some money, maybe going to school. Like, who knows where at 25, you're not developed as a man yet, but you think you are. You think you know everything. So when people start viewing older people, 40, 50 plus, talk to me about their life. Like, what am I? How can I help? How can I contribute to them? You gotta better your game and be the best individual you could be. And as a sensei, I think more judo guys, nothing against professors and jiu-jitsu guys, but as judo, the culture, like as a sensei, you're more than just an instructor about technique. You're a spiritual advisor. You're a person that they could go to when they're having a hard time. I gotta talk to somebody. That's a sensei. Because that's what senseis were for me. When my dad passed away, who was there? Sensei Roy. It's just different. It's just like you don't accept the belt unless you're ready to be that person to somebody eventually. That's what judo is about.
So I know that you took this year off, but Dojo Outfitters has put on it's like been like a different event every year, but basically
Passion for Passion.
Passion for Passion 5 last year. Is there plans for Passion this year, or
Passion for Passion? Just remember, you guys listening, Passion for Passion serves as the annual birthday for the store. So the store has been around for 6 years. Last year we turned 7 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, what's fun is that Passion for Passion is a community event. It brings the Portland community together. And we've had people like fly here for Passion for Passion. We had people drive here for Passion for Passion. It's a big deal for the store because we always put on like a big community event. There's local food vendors. There's local fight matches. That's the big question. You have to wait and see on our Instagram to follow us, though. Because your boy always has some type of thing up his sleeve. Maybe. You got to follow the story.
Hard maybe.
The thing about this, Passion for Passion, it takes 3 months to plan. If you go on our YouTube channel, you can watch all the previous Passion for Passions because all the videos are on there. So if you want to find out more about Passion for Passion, YouTube channel, you could subscribe and see the videos. But it takes a lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of execution, and it's worth it though because the community comes together. The community comes together and we kill it. So the final answer is a strong maybe.
Hard maybe.
Follow us on Instagram to know.
I love it. All right, well, can we get some fan questions in here?
Please,
before
let's
we
do
get
it.
you out of
Hell
here?
yeah. I love our fans. Our Instagram fans are the best.
Man, so don't forget, we're gonna put out on Dojo Outfitters Instagram questions for whoever
Every podcast.
Every podcast, wherever the questions are gonna be. And
good catch.
Had to have it. So if you want your name shouted out in future episodes of the Dojo Outfitters podcast, please put the question in there.
We have the best Instagram family.
We got some good questions.
They follow us. They get the questions. Shout out to Instagram followers. If you follow us, I appreciate it. At Dojo Outfitters, you guys are fam.
Yeah. Also, please, if you are watching this on YouTube and you have not hit that subscribe button,
hit it.
Please. This is the owner right here of Dojo Outfitters asking you very nicely to hit that subscribe button. Please and thank you for us. Like I said, these are some random questions today, so we're going all over the place. Listen, hard fact. If you're a black belt, I'm probably going to put your question on here.
Hard fact. If you're a professor, you get bias.
So, starting with at 2 legits to quit.
Oh,
at 2 legit to quit.
Lee
wants to know who is the best character in Street Fighter 2 and why.
Guile. Look how fast that was.
And why.
Okay, you go Sonic Boom, slow Sonic Boom. You follow it into the corner. They block. You suplex grapple them. That's bread and butter. That was my combo. SNES, slow Sonic Boom. You know how Guile has that slide in? They block. Either they block and you suplex them, or they take the Sonic Boom and then you raise or kick them. So Guile. And he's from the USA. And he has the haircut. That's easy money.
You know I like him for the hair alone.
In Super Street Fighter, the button you select changes his camo. So now he'll have a tan. He'll have like camo pants on. Like I'm wearing BDUs today because of Guile.
I couldn't even see you wearing pants.
I
now.
don't even have legs.
Yeah, I just saw some legs. That was it.
Yeah, Guile, 100%. Guile.
All right. Chris.DeSanto wants to know, we're bringing in some legends today.
What?
Should the New York Giants re-sign Eli Manning, or is Danny Dimes the man to take you to the promised land?
Listen, for some background, I'm a huge New York Giants fan. We've watched games together. I've dragged my wife, Danielle, to so many New York Giants games. She's a Giants fan, though. She'll be like, yo, our offensive line is trash. And I'll be like, you watch the games. Yo, she's a legit fan.
Honey, you're right.
So first of all, O-line is getting better though. Okay, I'm a huge New York Giants fan. If you're a Cowboys fan, Eagles fan, Redskins fan, I feel sorry for you. Okay, so the question was, should we re-sign Eli?
Should the Giants re-sign Eli, or is
Eli's done?
Eli's done with?
I've been a diehard Eli Manning fan ever since, and it's Danny Dimes' team. Eli, you're good. We appreciate you. Let's move on.
Yeah,
let's move on. I want to get Mike McCarthy from the Packers. If we get him, we're Gucci.
Woof.
NFC East champs.
Oh, woof. All right. At not young J May.
Oh.
Shout out to at young.
Shout out to J May.
Not young J May.
Shout out.
He wants to know Fury or Wilder in the rematch.
Oh, I love boxing.
If you follow Andy on Instagram, and you watch his stories, you are gonna see people get knocked out. That's 100% a fact. It will have some type of emoji.
I love it
with the person getting knocked out. It's always fun to see what
if
emoji.
You're a boxing fan, message me at me like we could talk boxing. I love boxing. 2 years ago, I started watching full length boxing fights. I get pumped. So Fury versus Wilder. This is part 2 now.
Yeah,
I gotta take Wilder. Versus Fury. I feel like he got floored 2 times. He came back from the dead in the first fight. Fight.
How did he get up from that?
He was like,
hey, dude, this is only going to be relevant for wrestling fans, but he
the Undertaker.
He Undertakered that. He got knocked down. Everyone's like, oh, it's over. And then from out of nowhere,
came back.
Paul Bear was standing next to him with the urn.
Undertaker. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm taking Wilder though. Alabama in the building. Alabama ties, right? I'll take Wilder though. They're gonna set that up. He's just a genetic freak, bro.
Well, we had quite a few questions from Danielle Triple C.
Oh, the wifey.
Thank you, Danielle, for the questions. We're going to go with my favorite one, though. Who is your favorite corgi?
Who is my favorite corgi? Okay, so if you follow at Andy Newas on Instagram, at Katsumi Corgi, I have a daughter. I have a child.
Yeah.
Her name is Katsu. She's my corgi. Yo, life-changing real talk. Let's be real.
Yeah.
My daughter, my daughter.
Your dog daughter.
My dog daughter, Katsu, you come home, she's happy to see me, my stress is reduced. Running a store, running a business, running a gym, running a people relationship all day, and coming home to a dog's face, get yourself a dog that you love and you care for, and man, it's real. Dog therapy is real. Dog therapy, pet therapy is real deal, and I was the biggest not dog therapy in my life. They're a real deal, bro. So if you're having a hard time, adopt a dog. I'm blessed to be able to buy a corgi. Katsumi Corgi, my daughter. I love her. Yo, I love my dog.
Yeah. Well, man, I just want to say thank you so much for honestly for so much, but for being on the podcast.
Of course.
You were going to be guest number 1.
The GOAT.
We had to bring in another goat, so you were number 2, but just as good as number 1.
Hey, I want to be back.
I guarantee that the fans are going to want you back. So.
Of course.
Thank you so much. Dojo Outfitters podcast.
Hey, Dojo Outfitters. Follow at Chicken Bone. Follow at Dojo Outfitters. Follow at Andy Newaza. YouTube. We're pushing a big YouTube push this year. At YouTube, subscribe us. Dojo Outfitters. Please. Any questions, comments? We love reaching out to you guys. DM me. I'm in control of the Instagram. I'll contact you back.
Andy also will reply to the YouTube comments too.
Comments and Reddit.
Man, if you want to put something on there, he'll say what's up. So even say hi to us. So hey, thank you everyone so much for all the support. We're just getting started. Love you guys. Peace.
Hey, stay blessed. Mahalo. Thank you.